Hello, welcome all. Let us discuss about process state. In previous session, we discussed about what is a process, how it differs from a program, and what are the required things a process needs to be actively executed in a memory. Now we have to know about what is the process states. Now already we know that process is an active entity. So when a process is an active entity, while execution, it changes state. State means at that particular instant, what is the condition of the process. First, when a process is newly created, it is in a new state. That the process is just created. When it is running means the instructions are executed, purely execution mode. Next thing, waiting. The waiting is always said to be blocking state. So the process is waiting for some event to occur. It may be an input output event. Next one, ready state. The process is ready to do, but I'm not getting the actual resource called processor or CPU. I'm awaiting for the CPU resource to be allotted. And last one, terminated. The process which is intended for a specific task has been completed, so the process has been terminated. So these are the five process states. Now, let us have an example. Let's go back to the cooking process and analyze what will happen. Now, it is a new state. What happened? A customer will placing an order and the chef receives the ticket. A process created. A chef has been allocated with a new task. Now, now let us see in this what's happening. The chef is ready with all the ingredients. But what is having? But he is waiting for the stove. There is the actual resource, CPU resource to cook. Like your CPU processor, you are waiting for the stove to cook. It's ready with all the ingredients. Now once the stove is ready, he is executing. He's actively working on the stove, is preparing the dish. Once it is prepared, the job is over. He can be completed the preparation of the recipe and he will serve the recipe on the dish and it will be served to the customer. So unsuccessfully it will be terminated. But actually it is not the fact always because I am ready, the process allocated and it is running state and terminated. But what happened in reality? After the chef is waiting for the stove while he is cooking, at one instance of time, the cook wanted this to be cooked in the oven. But what happened? Oven is used maybe used by some other chef, or the oven may be allocated for some other recipe. So what happened? The chef is waiting for the oven to be allocated for this dish to him. So he is in the state of waiting or blocking. It's also called as waiting or blocking state. After this, he will again complete the cooking and he will serve to the customer. So this is how. When there is a issue, what happened? When there is a requirement of a particular resource, the process will be again moved to the waiting state. Now come to the computer system. Now let us. I have taken one example of. I have taken how I am going to work with an MS Word. So here I have taken an MS Word application. So an MS Word document is there. I am going to just double click the MS Word. This is a new state. So the new, I'm going to double click it. I'm going to create a new instant of MS Word. Now the MS Word is so earlier it was a program. Once I double click, it will come to a process, new state. Now the empty new Word document is available. So it is in the ready state. Now what happened? I have moved from this place to this place. I have been allocated to the ready state. Now what I can do while I am doing, I can allocate it with the resource. I can use it for my typing, formatting. I can prepare my resume. I can prepare my OS notes. Everything I can do. Now what happened? I want to save. I want to save my OS notes. So what I will do, I will go for saving. Or for example, I want to print out my OS notes. So what I will do, I will print. So what happened? I am printing. At that time, this process is allocated for the printer to complete the job. The word is waiting for the printer. Now the job is with the printing. So it is moved to the waiting state. It will be complete only after the printing job is completed by the printer. So after printer completes, again it will go to the ready state. Then after from ready state, once this I am ready to work, again it will be allocated to the running state. I will be able to do that. Now what happened after completion? I am clipping the close button and the job is terminated. So When you take this, these are the four states. So based upon the input output requirement, whether I am going to move to the waiting state or running state. This is the matters. Normally, all the users want the process to be moved from new state to ready state to running state to terminated. And what happen if you are waiting for any other IO event to be happen? I need this waiting state. But let's see what will happen here. When a new process is created, it is moved to the admitted state. This process is admitted. It is in the ready queue because our system CPU is not doing only one job. It has numerous job. Take I am working in my one of my Word document. Parallelly, I am using my browser to check my Gmail. I can use my Winamp player to play songs. So parallelly, I am doing multiple processes. So one will be in the ready queue. Now, in the CPU is ready to do my task, the scheduler will dispatch the job to the running mode. I have been actually allocated with the CPU. Here I'll carry out my running. Once I complete, I will exit and will be terminated. Now, while running, if I need an input output, for example, I'm going on to save a file. I'll open the save dialog box. In the save as file, if I want to wait, I want to type OS Unit 1 notes, OS Unit 2. At that time, for example, I got a phone call. I'm not able to complete the save dialog box. What happened? The word process is still in the waiting state until I complete the phone call and I am typing the name of the document as OS Unit 2 and return back to the ready state. I'll be in the waiting state. After I complete the dialog box, I'll again move to the ready state. Then it will be allocated to the running state. Then after completing that, I'll be moved to the terminated state. And also you have to remember that no process can directly enter the running state. Only through the ready queue, the scheduler will dispatch the relevant process to the running state. From running state, it can either move back to the ready state if there is an interrupt, if I have been interrupted by any other work, or if I am waiting for an IO event, it will come to the waiting state. Or on successful completion, the process will be moved to the terminated. The process completes its job. So these are the possible scenarios. And the waiting state is normally also referred in some standard textbooks as blocking state. So in this session, we have discussed about 5 different process states. They are new, running, waiting, ready, and terminated. Thank you. Happy learning.